Do you ever not try something because you're afraid of what other people are going to think? This is the topic of today's episode of Out of the Box. Oftentimes, when I work with people, I hear the fear come through about, well, what if I fail? What will people think of me? And usually, what I tell them is they're really too busy worrying about what you're thinking of them. You see, we often allow what we fear other people are thinking change our behavior. We often let what we think other people might think of us, and we create a story around it. And you see, what we think they're going to think of us may not match what others think. Let me tell you a story about my own life. I set out and put together a program. And I put it out there, and I started it out for free and threw it out to the world, and I had some people sign up and went through the program for a month and then offered it as a paid opportunity. It would continue on, and those who were interested needed to pay a small fee for it. Well, what happened? Nobody signed up for the paid version. And so I shut it down. And I just moved on to the next thing. To me, I thought, okay, that's a failure. This didn't work. Maybe wrong timing, maybe another time, maybe not the right audience. I wasn't quite sure why it wasn't hitting, but it didn't hit, so I just moved on. I didn't think too much about it because that's how I roll, and if I worried so much about what didn't work, I'd never move on to the next thing, right? But the thing that actually really encouraged me was a couple weeks later, I had a client come to me, and I was talking to her about my next new thing. And she looked at me and she said, "You know what I really admire about you?" And I thought, oh boy, this is really uncomfortable. And she said, you try something, you put it out there. If it doesn't work, you just move on. Now, if I had been caught up in the fact that, oh my gosh, everybody who knows that I put this out and it didn't fly is gonna think I'm a failure, I wouldn't have been able to give her the message that, okay, if something doesn't work, you just move on. I guess that's my unconventional thinking. And for her, it was the lesson she needed in her business. She needed to know that she's going to put some programs out there and they're not going to fly for whatever the reason. Maybe they're the wrong timing. Maybe she has the wrong audience. Maybe she didn't do the right marketing. Whatever the case may be, she will know that it's okay, and she is just to move on, and maybe somebody else isn't really noticing that she didn't make that fly. They're just noticing that she's moving on to another thing, and that's resilience. Whatever the case may be. Chances are really good they don't even notice you've moved on. They didn't sign up. They didn't take the offer. And therefore, they don't even notice you've moved on. And they're way too busy thinking, she's always putting out programs. What does she think of me? I haven't put out anything yet. So we just never know. And when we make up the story, we are often wrong. So my unconventional thinking for you this week is stop worrying about what everyone else is thinking of what you're doing They're too busy thinking about what you think of what they're doing. So just run your own race. Surf your own wave. Do your thing and don't worry about what anybody else is thinking, and keep moving forward towards your extraordinary life. So that's my challenge for you today, is just keep doing your thing. And when you start to think about what everybody else is thinking about your thing, just stop and realize they're not, and keep moving on. As always, if you're enjoying these videos, please do subscribe so you get them every week in your inbox. And if you know someone who could use a little bit of unconventional thinking, I'm your girl, this is the place. Do forward along this video and encourage them to subscribe. Until next week, go on and live that extraordinary life that you were designed to live. Until next time, ciao.